Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Total Drama What If. In today's video, we're going to do What If Total Drama Action had three teams. Alright, let's get into it. Now, in right on set, the gaffers would keep Duncan as their guy, and the Grits would keep Izzy as theirs. Now, the Lions, I think anyone except for probably Owen would be able to act here, and I don't know what their prompt would be, but I definitely think they would do better than the Grips. So, and especially saying the fact that Trent's not here, I think he was the one coordinating everything. So the Grips definitely lose this. Oh wait, give me 1 second. Courtney's not here. Give me a second. That was a mistake on my end. What the? Where did she go? Oh, there she is. Yep, 1 second. She goes episode 13. Alright. So, back to where I was saying. The Grips obviously still lose this challenge, and I don't think anything would really change. It's still Justin, Beth, and Lindsay. So, especially now that Owen's not here, Izzy's definitely getting voted out. Alright. So, in episode. Was it 4? Yep. That is a non elimination. So now we go to episode 5, where this is when Trent's descent into madness happens. So we look, and obviously, I would say that in this one, I think. So does Trent? No, Trent doesn't get a point. Owen gets a point. I think Carol gets a point. I don't think Lashana gets a point. So the Lions get 2. Gaffers. Heather, I'm pretty sure doesn't get a point. I think Gwen, does she get a point? I think she does. And I think does both of them. I know one of the two get it, so I'm gonna say the Gaffers on 2, and then the Grips. I don't actually remember any of that on who did it for the Grips, but I'm fairly confident that I think no, Justin didn't do it because of his modeling. So it was Beth and Lindsay, and they'd both have to do it to even be considered safe. And I don't think they would. I don't know who it'd be, but I have a feeling one of them would miss. Even though they'd probably say something in the original, I'm just forgetting it. But I would say the Grips lose here. Now, the thing is, though, is at this point, Lindsay and Beth's relationship isn't at what it is near the later episodes. At this point, they're not that strongly connected, but they're still strong. And at this point, I would say that now this could again be considered wrong, but at this point, I do think that Justin would be able to persuade Beth to vote for Lindsay instead of him because his attraction is at max at this point. So I do think that's what happens. I think that Lindsay gets voted out and she's not going to believe this. She's going to think, oh, yeah, Beth was 100% on her side. But what this also does is it prolongs Trent a little. But obviously, episode 6 is an aftermath, so we go to episode 7, Chef Champ Redemption. Now, I do believe Trent was still trying to throw challenges, but because of the fact that obviously Justin's not on the same team as Trent, he's going to try throw the challenges, but they haven't even been successful yet. No one's even annoyed at him about it. No one cares. Gwen's not going to be throwing the challenge. So for the eating portion, I would say that the Grips will be bad. I think the Lions would manage. Actually, no, because of DJ's thing, I think they're going to be both all right. Uh, but obviously, if oh god, I don't know. I'm just gonna go with the second part of the challenge. Um, Justin won't want to push the cart, so he'll get Beth to do it. But Beth is really weak, and I don't know how well she'll do. So I think they'll be slow. So I think they'll be the last to start digging. I think now that Gwen's not doing, I think DJ will do it. DJ will make it to the end really fast, and I would say maybe a Harold would try push, so he would get their second. So then Gaffers get the first, then Lions, then Grips. And then in the digging, Justin's not gonna wanna dig, I know that. So he's gonna make Beth do the digging. and they're just using their hands, so they're going to be really slow. The gaffers, they're definitely going to get there first now. I mean, they've got the shovel. They are not. Gwen's not trying to throw the challenge, and then the Lions. I believe that Harold, and even though Trent is still like crazy, I don't know if his 9 obsession is going to matter in this challenge because I mean, like, really not going to make a much of a difference, really. So yeah, I think the grips lose again, and obviously Izzy rejoins here, and she rejoined. Well, she originally rejoined the grips, her old team, and even though they don't win here, do I think she'd join the gaffers? No, I don't. But again, it seems weird to put her on the losing team. Uh, no, I'm actually just gonna stick. No, I'm gonna say that she does end up. Actually, no, she helps out the gaffers in the original, so I'm gonna say she helps them again, and this time they win, so she's gonna be on this team. So the groups lose, and out of these two, I think this is where Justin's actually gonna try and anything fairly athletic, even though Justin doesn't want to screw up his contract or whatever, his modeling contract. He's gonna do it, and he's definitely gonna beat Beth. So Beth it goes here, yep. So look at that. A team of 1, a team of 4, and a team of 5. Alright. So then we go to episode 8, which is non-elimination, obviously. And then episode 9, we go to that is oh yeah. So this doesn't really work with 3 teams very well, but I'm just gonna say that Justin gets put on the scaring team, and at this point, it doesn't really matter who loses. I feel like the illegal alliance with Chef is still happening, so DJ is still going to do what he does in the original, and he's still going to quit. That's not going to change. He seems like he was going to do that anyway, and even if they lost, he would have told them to vote him out. Episode 10, non elimination. So we go to episode 11. Okay. So Full Metal Drama, that's where Izzy gets eliminated. So I don't know because Duncan knows what he's doing, and then Izzy, she's gonna make a wired explosive. So I think there's gonna be a little bit of a fight between who does what. But I have a feeling Izzy's gonna get her way. And I don't know. I think how that how he's like, oh, Cam nerd. He said he wanted to do it in the original. I feel like he'd actually be good at it. So I think they would win that first portion, even with an Owen and a Trent, a crazy Trent and a kind of stupid Owen. Justin, I think he would just get paired with the losing team with that, so he would go with the gaffers for this part of the challenge. And I do believe that, yeah, who I believe that even though, well, yeah, obviously Owen still breaks his jaw, and Duncan's booby traps aren't here. So honestly, now that Duncan is the attacking team, I would say that they managed to infiltrate and the Lions lose this. So that means that Justin's also safe because he was with them. So it goes to the Lions. Now, obviously, Harold and Lashana are on this team. Owen's fairly likable, and obviously he's not a traitor yet, so Harold has no reason not to like him. And Trent is still very crazy. So I think it's just a prolonged Trent exit. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, so we go from what episode we go to now? We go to Aftermath. So in this challenge, so Courtney's the second place prize, yes. Now, because there's 3 teams, she'll probably be the last place prize. Actually, no, I would say she's probably still the second place prize. Now, in this, let's book who gets trapped. I'm gonna say it's Heather. And then on the Lions, obviously Lashana, what she did, it gets exposed, and Harold's probably the most forgiving. So I have a feeling that it would probably still be LaShawn that gets taken because she's getting it from everyone else, not Harold. So it doesn't really matter because it's not her team, but she's still getting the hate. So I believe she's going to be the vault. And then obviously, I think Justin, I don't know what's going to happen because he's only got one person. But I'm going to say he just has to wait until one team successfully get their guy out. So I think that it will take the Lions a long time to get out. Lashana, well, actually, no. Harold is going to be able to break the locket. I know he will be able to. And then at this point, because Heather and Harold aren't arguing and Gwen's here, and even though Izzy she'll probably be like, oh, yeah, let me do it, blah, blah, blah. I think they'll force Duncan to do it. And obviously, he says in the original he'd be able to do it very easily. So I think he does it. And then I think he does it before Harold, and then Justin gets to go after that. So, and after all the preparation and stuff, I think Justin, mm, that could be wrong, but I don't think Justin's going to be doing the preparation that Duncan does in the original. So, because of that, I would say that Justin's going to be the first team to arrive, which means that the Gaffers. Do I think the Lions would get there before the Gaffers? No, I don't. I think Harold, even though he gets her out, I think he'll be fairly slow with it, and I think the rest of them would have left really fast, and they've been sitting there for a while. So yeah, I'm going to say that the Gaffers get Courtney. Okay, so then elimination then. Well, obviously to the go kart bit. I think the Gaffers are definitely safe here, unless Izzy. No, you know what? No, the Gaffers haven't lost yet. I'm gonna say that's what happens. I'm gonna say that Izzy breaks something, or she loses a part, or something. She does something, and then it gets lost, and then they can't make it, so they have to start walking. But I think even though one of the cuts are out of gas, I have a feeling both of their teams would be able to make it even though Owen is needing his jaw wired, he's gone all food crazy. So maybe not. But I think Justin's safe. And just because the Gaffers haven't lost yet, I am going to say that they are going to lose this challenge. Now, obviously, they don't like Heather. No one likes Heather. But they seem to put that aside when they need to vote out actual people. So I have a feeling on this one they know that Izzy fully was an idiot, an imbecile. So they need to get rid of Izzy. She can't be doing that. She's not able to keep getting away with that. Okay, so then episode 14, that's a non elimination. So then we go to episode 15. Now, Justin, I think because he's on my team, if he gets the point he gets, if he gets his point, he's safe, I think is the way to do it. Actually, no. Just for this, I'm going to say that Justin is with the Lions. So, because of that, that means that in the order would probably be. I'm going to say for this team, Gwen, Heather, and then. I would say in the I think it would be Duncan, then Courtney, and then in this one, I think it'd be Owen, Harold, then Lashana, and then Justin's here. I think he'd be number one. So in this just quick scenario, in the boxing thing, I think that the Gaffers win this challenge because Owen's gonna eat the gloves. In the badminton, Heather wasn't particularly great at it in the original, and I do think Harold would have some had badminton skills on him or something. So I say the Lions win that one, so it's 1-1. And then in the ball pit fighting, I am actually going to give this to Lashana, Now that could be completely unrealistic, but I think it could happen. And then I'd say Duncan wins, so then it goes to a tie just like it does in the original. And I do think it would probably be Courtney's idea to do the Chris chant, not Justin or Owen. Oh no, Owen's not even here. So I think their Gaffers are gonna take the grips role. They're gonna do the Chris chant, and the Lions. I think Lashana will do her chant. She does. So because of that, I think the Lions slash grips lose this challenge. So they go to elimination, and Justin's gonna go to the elimination with them. And at this point, Owen's food crazy. He's that's it. He's going on a rampage. So I believe that he is going to be voted out here. But obviously, I need to put him back over here because he comes back later. Okay, so put Justin back on the grips, although it doesn't really matter because now it is merge. So merge consists of Gwen, Heather, Courtney, Duncan, Harold, Lashana, Justin. Okay, so one thing that stayed the same is the fact that the guys that have made it are the same. So I think Justin's still going to say that they need to make a guys alliance. And so they're all for that, I guess. And at this point, because they aren't on the same team, I don't think Duncan and Harold have an alliance. So that's the guy alliance there. It's not really strong though, because the Harold and Duncan don't like each other. So yep, that's the alliances for that one. So dial M for merger. That's not an elimination challenge. So we go to episode 17, superhero. Now, I believe that Courtney would still win this, although I think Harold probably should have won, really. But I don't believe that. Who's not in this one originally? Gwen and Heather. I don't believe either of them would make a superhero that was worth beating Courtney. So Courtney still wins. Who do I think they're going to vote out? So the alliance is so you've got the guys, then you've got Gwen, Duncan. Yeah, Gwen and Duncan, they're an alliance, and no one really likes Courtney, no one really likes Heather. Well, obviously, actually, no, Gwen wouldn't be with Duncan because of Courtney, because she doesn't want anyone getting too close to Duncan. So I think actually everyone, I think no, Gwen will go with Lashana, so she'll kind of associate herself with Lashana, although she's not a big fan of Harold, but that's fine. So in that, and Justin, he's obviously, I think the guys vote together on this one though. And I think that in the original, they do go for Lashana. And I have a feeling that they're going to try that again with these people because I think if Justin Duncan, they can get Courtney to vote for Lashana and then Harold, that's 4 votes. And Heather, Gwen, Lashana aren't even going to vote together, so that doesn't even matter. And they kind of do what in the original, and they pretty much force Harold to vote out Lashana or he's next kind of thing. But obviously, that's not the case, and Lashana gets voted out. So then in episode 18, it's the third aftermath. So we go to episode 19, Princess Pride. Now, do I think Heather and Gwen, they could actually overtake Courtney's role, but Courtney so badly wanted to be the princess. But I have a feeling that the other two would actually just refuse to even try. I don't think they'd want to, so I think it would just go to Courtney anyway. So because of that, I believe that Heather and Gwen get knocked out, so it's just the 3 guys again. So then it's kind of what happens in the original. Justin makes it to the end. He thinks they're gonna kiss. They don't. She gets knocked over. Now at this point, he's not really attracting anyone. He's just kind of here. Now he's still got the guys, but after the feud he had with Duncan in this episode, I do think that that's kind of not in the cards anymore. So, and Harold, he's not happy with Justin after what happened. So, I believe they all still do vote for Justin. All right. Episode 20, obviously non elimination. So, we go to episode 21. Now, in this one, I believe. So, I think Courtney, annoyingly, would still win an immunity here. I think Gwen or Heather would do a better job at trashing the place than she does. So she wins immunity still. And then because of that, at this point, I think that people are going to want to vote out Heather. She's made it way too far after what she did in Ireland. They don't even know why she's made it this far. So at this point, I do think Heather's going to get voted here. I don't know. Maybe I should have voted her out earlier, but it doesn't really matter. There we go. There goes Heather. Okay. Episode 22 is a non elimination. Episode 23. Now, Harold and Owen. I think Harold does figure out Owen's a traitor. He tells people this, and I believe that Duncan and Harold they did bond in the previous episode, but then the whole scruffy thing happened. So the votes, I don't know if Harold would get voted here. Uh, if he, well, no, he probably would because I think he would still tell everyone what he thinks about Owen, and because of that he gets Owen's vote. Duncan is going to vote for him because of Scruffy. Courtney and Gwen, what's their reason to vote for him? And I think Beth is the other vote that goes to Harold. So does Courtney and Gwen, they might not vote for. I actually think that Courtney, even since Owen rejoined, is kind of annoyed, even though Chris said, "Oh yeah, he sued after breaking his jaw." But I don't think Courtney believes him, and I think Courtney actually votes for Owen, and because of that, so that's 2-2. So it's all up to Gwen. If she votes for Owen, Owen's gone. If she votes for Harold, Harold's gone. And sadly, I do think that she would probably vote for Harold. It's a shame. I mean, Harold, well, I think it's probably deserved because my other what ifs have all included him in the final, so he probably deserves to come fifth here. But in episode 24, Top Dog, 2 eliminations, Gwen's the only new one here, so I'm just gonna say that she takes the raccoon. Now, Duncan and the chameleon, they have a big problem, and then Gwen and the raccoon. So I do think that Owen's obviously still trying to sabotage everyone, and Courtney and the shark does not go well at all. So I'm gonna say that I don't know how well Gwen and the raccoon would get along. She'd probably call him like a rodent or something. She would not be happy. But I do think that in this time, that Duncan, he's definitely going to make it to the final two. And then it's between the other three. And I do believe the other person making it would probably be Gwen with the raccoon. All right. Now, obviously, that means that Courtney and Owen go just like the original. Look at that. The final couple of boots all canon, but all right. So let's go over the votes. Courtney, I think she votes for Duncan still. I think Owen, I think he's going to vote for Gwen. Harold votes for, you know what? I think he votes for Duncan, so it's 2-1. Heather votes for Duncan, 3-1. Justin votes for Gwen, 3-2. Lashana votes for Gwen, 3-3. Izzy votes for Explosivo, so that's 3-3 still. Trent votes for Gwen, definitely. DJ, I would say votes for Gwen. Beth, I would say probably votes for Gwen. Lindsay votes for Gwen. So that's 7-3. Gwen wins this season. No, that's surprising. Just because of the whole Shawshank Redemption thing, she goes on to win the whole thing. Alright, thanks for watching. See you later. Like and comment if you like it. See you later and goodbye.